Hey there and welcome back to Elden Ring. We're going to finish up Siofra River now, since we kind of finished going along that way, seeing where the end took us and, got into the place. We did not go up to the top of this. We still got 4 more things to light up, but when we go up here, I mean, it looks like it should be a boss fight. Like, look at this. This thing seems like an arena. But the Hallowhorn Grounds. Now, if you look at this, he's got antlers. And also, I feel the need to mention, Torrent is a horse, but look how he has horns. He should not have horns, right? And the budding horns talks about how it's sprouting from creatures that typically should not have said horns. But look at his horns, how they're actually budding. And that's how the followers were like all about. And look how they're even going down his body. Like, it's not just his horns that are sprouting and then blooming. He's got more of these horn things working their way along, but he looks weird, emaciated, kind of gross, right? Like, this is like a corpse. It is a corpse. And I mean, if we read that description again for the clarifying horn, it's said to be a budding horn. They believe that the horns of a long-lived beast continue to bud like antlers over and over again until it one day becomes an ancestral spirit. So, I mean, these things seem to be budding and flowering, right? So maybe this is supposed to be turning into an ancestral spirit. But I also would like to say that, like, how this is like going off and around his back reminds me of the what's that lion thing, how it had the like spiny things, horns growing down its back. That looks so meaty and weird, though. I've never really gotten that close to him, and that does not look comfortable the way it's like coming out. But we're gonna finish lighting the torches. If there is anything else interesting to see in here, you'll know, because I'll show you. Look at that, something of interest right underneath it, underneath that bridge. We got ourselves a horn bow, which is in fact the longbow made from animal horn, wielded by master hunters of the ancestral followers. It imbues arrows fired with magic damage, reveals its true worth when used with magic infused arrows. So we noticed in the last one how some of those guys who were shooting arrows at us, they could like really charge up their shots, and then it was like enhanced and became these like huge arrows that just like really messed us up, right? Ooh, look at how that dude is doing something. We've seen the guy with the antler thing before, but he didn't do that. So it's like swirly spirits or something like going on. It reminds me, I don't know, very dark. Huh. What else you got going on, bud? Anything else? Huh. Now, there's a section here that we're at. We used a spring thing, whatever, spring step, well, wind thing. Jumped us up really high. We get over here, and you can see there's another section of, like, structure, bridge. And I could assume that all of this would have been, like, connected at some point. There would have been more bridges and structures spanning across each other, like large buildings. And they would have gone and connected to that thing over there, which is, obviously no longer functioning. But there is a figure way out there. And you can vaguely tell it's a Crucible Knight. Vaguely tell it's a Crucible Knight. What is he doing over there? Why is he looking over at that? Is he connected to the old dynasty? Who knows? Because, I mean, they have ties in with the, Crucible, which is the primordial form of the Erd Tree. And that would have been before, the age of the Erd Tree, when these ancient civilizations existed. Now, there's also, right, look at all these wooden structures. They definitely haven't been around so long, like these things. These were built by somebody else. And we've seen other spots around here, like little campsites and things. And I think these might be remnants of, like, that company of slaves. So, like, Hawk Knight guys, not Hawk Knights, they were slaves, so Hawk soldiers, and this is what they built up as they were exploring, trying to get into the Eternal City, because I believe this stuff here is older than it, and I think we could assume that nicer, kind of fancy looking section is in other old empire, which would have to be, or old civilization, that would have to be the Eternal City. So they are maybe building up structures around these, you know, columns and stuff to go up there and reach that. And I mean, like in the last one I mentioned how looking up you could see like all these like inverted buildings and stuff like they built from the ceiling. It's so cool. Now there is, you know, following that was like how that company of slave soldiers went out here to find the Eternal City. We found a shield for them. Where are the soldiers? Right? All we found are these eternal, or these ancestral followers. So did they all like completely die and there's no other signs of them? Or did they make it all the way up there? So we just found a merchant. Because of course there's a merchant here. He's got soap, a nascent butterfly, which is an arcane butterfly with translucent wings, used for crafting, exceedingly rare to find. It appears as if it's just emerged from its cocoon for its entire life. Soap is soap. Stone soap. Oh, interesting thing about that. Filth covering the exterior eventually seeps inside, soiling one's very spirit. You could maybe take that in some fancy kind of way, you know, like it's like, oh, you're going to actually be corrupted. Or maybe it's like the game's way telling you of like, hey, if you have like poison on your body and you're not actually poisoned yet, you will get poisoned eventually. You need to use some soap. But look at this thing, a larval tear. Now we've heard there's all kinds of tear things, but they're tears from blessings, right? Tears from the Erd tree, and this is not that. And it's got like an umbilical cord looking thing. It's larval, and it looks kind of weird and gross, bug-like to me. So the core of a creature of mimicry known as a silver tear, as much as substance as it is a living organism. Material required by the amber egg cradled by Renala, queen of the full moon, to birth people anew. Being born anew allows the reallocation of attributes boosted by leveling up. So there's a little bit of gameplay thing at the bottom, but we've known some things about silver, right? There was one of the people we could choose at the beginning. I don't remember the name of them, but they talked about how long ago they used to bleed silver. This is a silver, also known as a silver tear. But it could be used by the amber egg cradled by Renala. And the amber egg was a gift by Radagon to Renala when he left. So, why, like, what is the interaction there? Why does the amber egg need this, like, silver tear or larval tear to birth people new? It's so weird looking, too, but it's really important. It's helpful. And look at this. Dwelling arrows. Arrow in which the spirits of small animals are thought to dwell. And look, there's another side of grace we just got. Worshippers' Woods. So the Woods of Worshippers must be the ancestral followers because they worship an ancestral spirit, an ancestral beast of some kind. Look at these things. Why is that a thing? Power gathers somewhere in horned remains. We know where that is. I'd also like to note these trees. Like, they go up really high. They've got a silver, a whitish bone color to them. No limbs whatsoever. But not even, like, the other thing is, it's not even like, oh, it's got limbs that are broken off. Like, it is sheer smooth side that goes way up until it breaks off. And I mean, are they trees? Because these are regular new sprouted trees. Yeah, I mean, that looks like tree to me. I always assumed they were trees. It could be stone, I guess, but it looks like trees to me. And yeah, I mean, because look at those. Those are similar and have some branchy sections. And even those, so one, look at him, how he's all glowy now. He's got power. Why did the fire give him power? You know, I don't know. I think that's just kind of a gameplay mechanic thing. I'm not sure it actually has some actual implications. But look out there. Because we were just talking about those tree sections, right? Are those trees as well? I mean, because it almost looks like they should be split off in some sides. So, the Erd tree was not the only tree, like massive tree, right? There were minor Erd trees. So are these also like weird sproutings of like tiny little minor Erd trees? Or were they a different type of tree? Because there's also the Great Tree, But we don't see any minor great trees, just minor Erd trees. And we also don't see a great tree at all. So this is one of my favorite fights. I really like this one. But if we touch it, it seems to like transport us somewhere else. Don't know why there's so much blood right there. And a huge chamber. Ancestral Spirit. Listen to that soundtrack too. He's kind of like lumping along. There's like bones that are like mushroom stuff going. 1, 2. Oh yeah, look at him. And he's like all desiccated under his ribs and stuff. He's spewing fire, and it's like a blue fire. Which is maybe a tie-in to like the ghost flame thing, but I don't think the color's quite right. Come on. Yeah, look how he's like hollow. Good try. Uh-oh. I messed that up. That's okay. Oh. Can't keep doing mistakes like that, though. Now, there is another creature we see that hops like that. And that would be Torrent. Torrent can do that one time as well. What else does Torrent have? He has horns. And so, like, does he have the power to, like, become an Ancestral Spirit if he keeps, like, budding and sprouting? But I don't think he has any remains anymore. I'm under the impression that he's kind of like Melina, like, bodiless, like he's ashes. Like, because all we see is a spirit at least, right? And I guess this is also the Ancestor Spirit, not the Ancestor body. So, like, maybe this could be a type of final stage for him. Oh, I missed. That sucks. I just really like this fight. It just feels majestic, even though he's kind of horrifying to look at. Like, the music, the way he moves, like, it's an elkish beast. Like, the sounds, it feels, like, natural in a way. And I really like that. It's such a change of pace from, like, big, horrific, you know, multi-armed monster dudes. Other, you know, just monsters, you know? And what do we get? Ancestral Follower Ashes. Ashen remains in which spirits dwell. A spirit of the horned folk who eschew letters and metalworking. Brawny and versed in distinctive spiritual arts, this particular tribesman wields a heavy bow. So maybe they do have horns, because I thought the headdress looked like it matched up with the horns. But this specifically says a spirit of the horned folk. So they do have horns. But they eschew letters, so they don't write, and they don't use metal. Everything they use must be natural then, right? Because we see that, like, even his, you know, the fur armor, the bow was made out of bone, the quiver is wood, the weapon was, like, wood and, like, rock. So, spiritual arts, and he uses a heavy bow. This is a big old cavern. I think if we wander around, there's not really much to see, but, I mean, there's just animal remains all over the place, fungal growth, low standing water. Where are we? Way out here. I don't know that that means anything. I think this is just a location in the world for them to have an arena. You know what I mean? Alright, now, we still have one other main thing to do here. So I'm going to go show you. If you spend some time exploring, you'll find it. But it's kind of tucked away. I didn't find it initially when I first played through this whole area, like, first time playing through. It was just later when I went back and I was exploring even more that I then found it. So running up here, there's an archer. We sneak past him, and there's another teleporter. We've already, you know, encountered one. There's also an item up here. I don't remember what it is. Slumber smithing stone. It's cool. But we take this. Where's this one going to take us? The design on those things, those teleporters, is a lot like that mausoleum structure, the elevator structure and stuff. Okay. Oh, it looks like we're up higher and closer to that. Let's see. Got a better view now. Okay. You can totally go up there. Look, there's a body hanging off. Like I said, 90% of what you can see, you can go and do things with. So we're definitely going to be able to go there. And I mean, you can see structure up there. But if you look on the map, we're here, but we've been around here, so we're up higher. So this whole river thing has just been flowing from higher and down and down and down. And now we saw a little bit of a broken statue when we got the oracle bubble thing. And look, there's another, it's more complete section of it. So this one seems to be a man standing holding a tablet of some sort. He's got roots and stuff growing around it. Like if you look down there, see how he's got like roots down by his feet, clutching into another tablet thing. And even on said tablet, that looks like a little bit of tree with like branches and stuff. And on that thing, it's got a disc. We've seen that on some of the other like stone sections as well. What a great view, man. There's just such awesome views, man. Now there's a bunch more claymen in here. We are not going to fight all these guys. Instead, we're just going to circle around and we're going to look for that beetle sound that I keep hearing. There he is. Uh-oh, hit him. Got him. What do we get? The great oracular bubbles. We got the little ones. Now this is going to be the big one that they cast sometimes. Pretty much the same description. There's nothing new to get from there. But look how many more claymen there are right around here. So they're definitely not really interested in those other sections. Like, they're just about some of these areas here. Golden Rune 7. So maybe that'll have different stuff for us. Ghost Glovewort 5. Now you may notice that big thing over there. We'll talk about that in just a second here. But let's look at a couple of the items real fast, and then we'll deal with that. So we've gotten some of these Glovewort things before, right? We have Grave Glovewort 1, which is used for like the basic levels, you know, much like the smithing stones. This 2, though, look how it's different. So this one says the art of strengthening ashes is known as spirit tuning. Only a spirit tuner may perform this deed. Now this one says, it is not merely the simple act of imbuing strength. It is an art that lies somewhere between tuning an instrument and conducting a conversation, leaving both parties enriched. Now we go to the ghost ones. So about ashes that keep their renown. And look how they kind of change. Like there's more branches, more bells. 5 is still pretty much the same. Nothing really different. Except you can see, yeah, just lots more bells. But now we see this thing. So we zoom it in. Arms. Big headish thing. It's got a huge capey drape thing. It's got red and black on it. I can't really tell what the symbol is on the back, but that would be pretty significant if we could actually tell what was going on there. Let's see here. I'm afraid once I go into this water, we're going to aggro him. Looks like maybe, I mean, he's got shoulder arm guards going down. Looks like wrappings around his arm, though. Bracelets, bangles. You can see that looks like skin. Again, same thing. Like, see his hands, like, all just emaciated and funky. Oh, there he goes. Oh, look at that mouth. A Dragonkin Soldier. And look how his belly is completely hollowed out. We've seen that with the trolls as well. And look, his belt is that segmented square kind of thing as well. I mean, it's all hanging hollow from him as well. Notice he doesn't, like, stand up, though, right? Like, he's got big old legs and stuff. Like, he should be huge, right? But he doesn't. He's just on his hands and knees, like a beast of kinds. Huh. Even his feet, I mean, he's a dragon, or a dragonkin of sorts. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense why he would have, like, oh, Lord. Like, why he would be kind of, like, have weird legs and stuff. Now, I did not rest after fighting the Ancestral Spirit, and I should have, considering how many flasks I ultimately ended up using. He's got a little nub of a tail as well. Do you see that? Right there. We're going to go back. That's a big old roar. I can't see is on the back piece. It doesn't really look like there's... I don't know. Let's send in our Warhawk, because we can, since I don't have any more healing. Let's just maybe take away some... Ooh, I was a little early on my thing. Oh, he got a bird. No. Good hit. Now, if I can get a critical, that'd be pretty good. Oh, we need to move away from that. Oh, bird, no. Oh, my shield. Okay, we're okay. Come on. Ooh. Oh, I just barely missed it. I need to get away from there. Good hits. How is he not staggered yet? Okay, just gonna move away from that. Drink you. Doesn't heal me right now because it just does strength and stamina. I don't trust the range on that. I'm not really clear on like where that thing ends. No, are you serious? I knew I was getting greedy with that last swing. I should have just waited. Damn it. Now I gotta go back over there and do it. Oh, Stake of America. Oh, I'm like sweating about how I gotta run back up there and boy. Okay, easy. His armor is like kind of golden colored too, right? And look how under his like neck and under that shoulder plate, what does it look like? It looks like bits of, like, I would say root, like kind of growing out and about. But I don't see any other things that like tie in with like tree things on him other than those little rootish bits. This dude has to be like a zombie. I mean, like, look, he's missing everything in his abdomen. It's not even like, oh, he's just super emaciated, but like, it's like, where are his internal organs? And we know zombies exist because it talks about how the wandering nobles are undead. So this dude has to be like an undead as well. But he's not the same as those who live in death, because those who live in death are like, they're not undead. They like live in death, which is some kind of weird distinction, because D doesn't go about hunting down the nobles or anything. So, god dang it, I need to focus. I'm out of flasks again. Thank you. Down he goes. Great enemy felled. There was like a circle emblem looking thing on it. Maybe I'll do a freeze picture screenshot. Dragon Halberd. And there's an item over there. Let's pick that up and then we'll take a look at the items that we got going on. Marika Scar Seal. Alright, so we've gotten Radigan's Scar Seal, so now we have Marika's. First, let's look at the Dragon Halberd. Very strong weapon. It's a halberd shaped like a dragon and wreathed with both ice and lightning. Alas, the Dragonkin soldiers never attained immortality and perished as decrepit, pale imitations of their skyborn kin. So it's shaped, the halberd shaped like a dragon. We can kind of see that, right? And then it's enwreathed in both ice and lightning. Now there's those lightning balls floating around down there. When you kind of look at it, there's kind of an icy, cloudish thing coming off of it too. Now, when we get hit by it, though, we don't get any kind of ice effect on there. But when we do this thing's effect, it will give it a frostbite effect. It does lightning damage, and then it inflicts, like, frostbite. Now, the Dragonkin soldiers never attained immortality and perished as decrepit, pale imitations of the skyborn kin. So they weren't like, actually like the dragons. I mean, they're dragonkin, but when it says they attained immortality, it's like they were trying to get it. And so, you know, because if they were actually related, then they would have already had the immortality, but they never got it. So it seemed like this was maybe some kind of process. Now we know a little bit something about that, kind of, and that is with the dragon communion. When you devour the dragon hearts, Yura implies it changes you, you know, until like something happens to you. Perished. Well, this guy didn't quite perish. I mean, granted, if there are multiple, then obviously bunches of them probably died, and there's just like this guy left. Now we've got Marika's Scar Seal. An eye engraved with an Elden rune, said to be the seal of Queen Marika. Raises mind, intelligence, faith, and arcane, but also increases all damage taken. So like a counterpart, the mind counterpart to Radagon's physical part. These seals represent the lifelong duty of those chosen by the gods. So pretty much the same description, right? Now, look at the rune itself. So Radagon, well, and the coloration is different too. Look how red his is. Like the root section and stuff. And then when you go to hers, much more pale golden with just a little bits of the red, kind of like blood at the bottom. Huh. Interesting. Now, so hers, right? Look at that rune. It's got the same thing, like what all those people are like crucified on. It's got the same shape, which that top arc is a lot like the rune arc, which when you read the rune arc, it's like the basin in which blessings would pool. And then, you know, from there, you know, you would maybe then have Marika giving out these blessings. And actually at those like stakes where you have people who are like, you know, crucified, you'll find runes at the bottom, like they're dying, and then the blessings of, you know, the grace from gold and Erdtree and whatever is dropping down at the bottom, kind of like the blessings are getting handed out from the Elden Ring. Weird. Now, something else to kind of wonder about. His Scar Seal was found in a jail held by some ancient hero of Zamor. And then you've got hers found underground at the outskirts, like you can see, like at the basin actually, like maybe it's right at the bottom of that waterfall. Maybe it washed down with that waterfall. And so did it, I mean, it's on a body actually. I don't know if that means anything. I don't think so. A noble looking guy. So did it wash down? Is it because this is part of the Eternal City? And like in the opening thing, it says her name is Queen Marika the Eternal. So is that part of it? Is that why you find it here? That's where we're going to call it here. You know, I mean, we could keep running around. I don't think there's really anything else to get in here. But I mean, if you look at the map, we didn't go way up there. Like we did some stuff like right in here, but we didn't go up in here. And there's more structures and stuff right there. Like there's whole other spots here that we haven't been to yet. So there must be some other way. But if you spend, like originally when I first played through here, I spent a long time wandering around this place trying to find something, and I could not find anything. So it's going to have to wait for some other time, you know. But yeah, this place is pretty interesting, you know. And Siofra, I didn't mention it when we first got down here. It means fairy in Gaelic, which is interesting when you take a look at this talisman we have here, the blue dancer charm, depicting a dancer garbed in blue. The dancer in blue represents a fairy, and it's like blue like water, a fairy. The river is named Fairy, you know. So, oh, but dude, I didn't notice this either. Look, there's more of that stuff. Formic rock, more formic rock. I've never seen that here before. Yeah, so there are giant ants somewhere. That has to be like part of the Eternal City there. I mean, what else could it be? What else could it be, dude? It's so cool. Thanks for checking it out. Always appreciate it when you guys do. We're going to move into Liurny of the Lakes next. Like, this is going to be our next actual thing. We need to really progress the story now at this point. But again, thanks for checking it out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until the next one, take care.